Dev Podcast, tech products that work.
At least this is my take on it, okay? If anyone disagrees with my take, then feel free to post comments to your heart's content. And all I ask is at least please start a constructive conversation in the comments. So bring your receipts, meaning give us some examples of what you disagree with and why, and better ways of doing it. A lot of people, the trap that they're falling into is giving everything over to the AI agent and expecting the AI agent to be a miracle worker in that it's going to read your mind, it's going to come up with a design that's completely unique, which it never does. So what I think is a really great way of approaching this, call it like a new discipline, is if we spend a good amount of time on some of the key pages that's going into the website. So let's say, for example, let's paint a little picture. So let's say that we've got a service-based business that wants to develop and design a website that has approximately 20 pages. Now, this is before AI. Already as it stands, what you would have continuity across the pages. Okay, that's something that you're actually actively going for, because you don't want to scare the user into being something different every single time. There needs to be some sort of familiarity between the pages. So you would typically have approximately 4 or 5 templates that you would work according to. So the first and the most obvious one being the homepage. Okay, so the homepage can look different from everything else because it's a unique page in that it's somewhat of an introduction to the company, not just the company, but also the website itself. So you can have like little sections of about us that's going to lead you to the about page, and our services that's going to lead you to the service pages, and get in touch with us quickly that might even lead you to the contact page, and so on and so forth. You get the idea. So I would strongly recommend that a designer, and a good experienced designer, designs the homepage according to the brief received or somehow extracted from the client. So that's still completely manual. Okay, there's a design software, and there's a designer that's manually sitting and designing a homepage. And then of course you can have your back and forth as you've always had. The design can be sent to the client, and if it missed the mark, then there can be some revisions and discussions and whatever. And then you want to move over to some of your other template pages, if we want to call it that. So for example, perhaps this being a service-based business, you're going to have service landing pages. Okay, so maybe one landing page with all the services, or just design one of the services, okay, and what that page would look like. And let's say, for argument's sake, case studies is quite important for the business. So let's design a page of one of the case studies so that we can get a good look at what that's going to look like. And then we might choose something else. Contact pages, okay, I get the argument that in itself is also a very unique page. So fair enough if you want to add that in, although I think AI is going to have a good idea of what a contact page must look like anyway, and it might give you some good ideas and direction. So perhaps you choose something different, like what would a normal content page look like an about us, or where we come from, our history, or something like that. Okay. Now, once you've got those 4 or roughly 5 template pages, I think you can go ahead and develop that. Let's say we're using WordPress to design the site. I would still argue that a developer must manually go and develop those 4 template pages. And then after that, I've no problem connecting the AI agent and starting to instruct the AI agent. You can, for example, upload those designs that you've done, or since you've developed them manually, you can point it to those pages, and you can say, here we go. This is our look and feel. This is how we've laid everything out. Pay careful attention to the structure that we've used. We've done that for a reason. You'll see that it's also mobile responsive. You'll see the content. You'll see the type of design we're going for, the look and feel, all of that sort of stuff. Now we just need 2 or 3 other content pages. Look at the about page that we've developed for your inspiration or your direction, and then do these other pages. And it's going to mimic that, So for me, that is where I see the advantage of AI, and where I think you can bring it in a way that's going to add value to the project, because it can then go and create those pages very quickly. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and argue and say that there are designers and developers that can work faster than an AI agent, but I will sit and argue that if you rely on the AI agent for everything, everything is going to start looking the same. It's going to miss the mark on what emotion or idea it is that you actually really have in your head about the artistic direction and the look and feel and so forth. And I just believe that you're not necessarily going to have as good a time as you think you are going to have.